Chapter 5. Local Wins Everywhere. The AI progress report arrived in Ethan's inbox on a Sunday night. 12 pages, compiled by the project team for Karen Holt's monthly leadership review. Raj had forwarded it with a one-line note. "You should see this before the steering meeting." Ethan opened it on his laptop in the hotel room. GenAI Transformation, Progress Report, Month 3. Titan Shield Insurance / North Star Consulting. Headline: 82% of claims adjusters have logged at least one AI-assisted draft in the past 30 days. Month 1, Adoption, 34%. Month 2, Adoption, 61%. Month 3, Adoption, 82%. Caption: Strong adoption momentum across all regions. He scrolled through the rest. Adoption by seniority band, adoption by office location, a heat map showing which teams had the highest and lowest usage rates, 3 pages of charts, all measuring the same thing: how many people were touching the tool, and how often. The highest usage team was in the Ohio Regional Office, the same office where Marcus had found the repealed regulation. 89% adoption. The team generating letters that cited a law no longer in effect was also the team with the best score on this chart. The next morning, Ethan showed the progress report to Angela in the hallway outside the conference room. Angela flipped to the adoption chart. 3 seconds. "Who compiled this?" Raj had it pulled together for the steering review. She handed it back. "Karen's going to ask where the ROI is. This report doesn't have an answer. It has a participation trophy." "What would you measure?" "Validation time. How long does my team spend reviewing a draft before they approve or reject it? That number tells you whether the tool is helping or creating work. If validation time is going down, the drafts are getting better and my people trust them. If it's going up, the drafts are worse or my people don't trust them and they're checking everything." "That number is going up," Ethan said. "I know, but nobody put it on the dashboard. They put adoption on the dashboard. Because adoption is easy to measure and it goes in the right direction." She looked at the conference room door. "Karen is going to walk in there and see 82% adoption and ask what she's getting for it. And the answer is 82% of her team touching a tool that some of them don't trust. Some of them are using wrong, and all of them are spending more time reviewing than they saved on drafting. So the metric is a lie." "The metric is true." Angela looked at him. 82% of adjusters use the tool. That's a fact. But it's the wrong fact. It's like measuring how many people went to the gym without asking if anyone lost weight. Ethan put the report in his bag. The board decks Julia was preparing came to mind. The same green arrows. The same upward trend lines. Usage. Adoption. Engagement. All the metrics that proved people were doing the new thing without proving the new thing was working. The monthly steering committee at Titan Shield Insurance started with a parade of green arrows. Angela Ruiz shared her screen to a room that already felt like a victory lap. "Claims explanation pilot," she said. "Complaint rate is down 40%. Citation accuracy is up to 99%. 0 hallucinations in the last 3 weeks." Michael Tran nodded from the end of the table, his version of a standing ovation. "Compliance citations are fully traceable. The audit trail is clean. We can defend every output in court." Ethan sat next to Angela, watching Karen Holt. The chief claims officer was reviewing the printed deck, flipping pages with a rhythmic snap, snap, snap. She hadn't looked at the screen once. "Excellent," Ethan said. "We've stabilized the quality issues." Karen stopped flipping. She rested her hand on the table. "Quality is up," she agreed. "Complaints are down. Michael is happy." She looked up, her gaze landing hard on Ethan. "So where is my ROI?" The room went quiet. Karen let the silence sit. I'm looking at the operational metrics, Karen continued, tapping a page in the appendix. Average handling time is flat. Headcount is flat. Overtime is flat. Angela shifted in her seat. We're spending less time drafting, Karen. But we're spending more time reviewing. Run the same claim twice, and you get slightly different wording. Sometimes a different citation order, sometimes a different emphasis. My team can't just glance and approve. They have to read every line. She paused. The net is neutral. Neutral, Karen repeated. So I spent $500,000 on a pilot to generate better letters at the exact same cost? We reduced risk, Michael interjected. That has value. Risk is a cost avoidance, Karen cut in. I can't put, we didn't get sued on the P&L. The board wants to know when GenAI is going to bend the cost curve. You told me this would make us efficient. Right now, it's just making us polite. Ethan leaned forward. It's the first phase, Karen. We needed to establish trust before we pushed for speed. We established trust, Karen said. Now I need value. Until I see the unit cost go down, there is no expansion. The underwriting pilot is on hold. Angela looked at Ethan. The underwriting expansion, their revenue driver, was gone. Bring me a business case, not a compliance report, Karen said, closing the binder. Meeting adjourned. 3 hours later, Ethan was on a video call with the North Star leadership team. Julia Reyes sat in her New York office, looking at the same 2 charts Ethan had just seen rejected. Raj Mehta was on the line from Atlanta, where he was running the Swift Current logistics engagement. Karen paused underwriting? Julia asked. She wants ROI, Ethan said. We improved quality, but we didn't touch speed. The review process is eating all the gains. We prioritize safety, Lena Park said from the New York conference room. That was the mandate. It was one mandate, Julia said. She turned to the screen. Raj, how is Swift Current? Raj smiled. He looked tired but satisfied. Different story here. Paul Jensen is ecstatic. Decision turnaround and exception handling is down 35%. They are ripping through the backlog. Client satisfaction scores are the highest in 2 years. And the risk? Julia asked. Raj shrugged. They're aggressive. They loosened the executive review gates. They aren't kicking margin exceptions to a human. Paul says he'll take the occasional error if it means clearing the queue. But Swift Current is winning. Paul is ready to sign a renewal. We should be scaling this. Scaling what? Ethan said. They turned off the gates. They're rubber stamping outputs. Paul's numbers look great until a client gets a hallucinated promise. Karen's numbers look safe until the board asks why we're spending $500,000 to go sideways. Raj shot back. So your answer is to move fast and hope nothing breaks? My answer is that we have a client who's actually using the tool, and you want to slow him down, because Titan Shield can't figure out a review process. Julia let them go for another 30 seconds. Then she cut in. Stop. Listen to what you're both saying. She looked at Ethan. You're defending safety that costs too much to scale. She looked at Raj. You're defending speed that's one incident away from a lawsuit. She paused. We told the board we have a GenAI transformation platform. We don't. We have 2 bespoke consulting projects that are optimizing for opposite things. The room was quiet. If we scale Titan Shield's approach, we lose money. The service delivery costs too much, Julia continued. If we scale Swift Currents, we blow up a client. Those aren't 2 strategies. That's no strategy. The technology can do both, Lena said, but the workflows are breaking. Then fix the workflows, Julia said. No new clients. No new pilots. We are frozen until we can prove this model works without trading safety for solvency. Karen is waiting for an answer, Ethan reminded her. Tell her the answer is process redesign, Julia said. Tell her we're not expanding to underwriting until we fix the claims workflow. We need to get the cost down. She looked at Raj. And tell Paul to slow down. If Swift Current crashes, it's on us. That evening, Ethan sat in the hotel bar in Chicago, staring at his laptop. He pulled up the logs Lena had shared. The divergence was clear in the data. At Titanshield, the line for time in review was creeping up. Every week, the adjusters were adding seconds to their checks. They were learning to mistrust the system, padding it with human oversight. At Swift Current, the line for time in review was crashing. They were rubber stamping. They were learning to ignore the system's warnings in favor of its speed. 2 clients, same tool, opposite behaviors. Local wins everywhere, Ethan muttered to himself. Angela was happy because she was safe. Raj was happy because he was fast. But Karen wasn't paying for safety, and North Star couldn't afford the liability of unchecked speed. He closed the laptop. The problem wasn't the AI. The problem was that they hadn't decided what it was for, a shield or an engine. His phone buzzed. It was a text from Raj. Paul wants to expand to pricing. He says the engine is ready. He typed back, hold him off. Julia meant it. He put the phone down. He knew Raj wouldn't hold him off. Raj never did. Ethan signaled the bartender for a check. Continue the full audiobook at the2project.com.